I had my encounter with the Black-Eyed Kids in late 2012. I don't remember the exact date. I wasn't really recording it for posterity, but it happened after I'd come home from a particularly grueling day at work. I have a pretty long drive home. My grandmother passed away a few years ago, so I just moved in and took over her house to save on rent money. But her house is the better part of an hour's drive away from where I work, so I already wasn't in a very good mood, and it was dark when I got home. Looking back, the most bizarre thing about the experience was how quickly they showed up. I walked in the porch, turned around to lock it, and then turned back, and there was a knock. More than anything else about this story, that freaks me out. It's not something I've seen in other BEK stories that I've read, but it seems like I would have seen them coming up to my door when I was locking it. The door had a big panel glass window that I could see right through, and there was a light pole right outside. So it's like they didn't walk up to it. They were just there. I turned around and saw them. 2 kids. One was in his early teens. The other looked about 8. The older one was knocking. He looked panicked, and he was really pounding on the door. The younger one looked nervous, but didn't say anything.
"Sir,"
the older one said,
"we need to use your phone."
I felt my hand moving forward towards the knob, but I yanked it back. I don't know if I need to explain that I wanted to help them, but also felt afraid of them, but I did. It's in all the encounters, so I'm just confirming that, yes, it happened to me too. It always seems strange to me that no one who's ever encountered the Black-Eyed Kids has ever heard of them before. I wasn't an aficionado at the time, but I had at least read a few paranormal websites while I was bored. I think that's why it was like reflex when I heard a request to use the phone. My eyes went to theirs, and I saw that they were solid black, and I knew what they were. Well, not what they were. I knew they were BEKs. The older kids seemed to immediately realize what I'd seen. I've heard that they usually get mad if you see their eyes. That didn't happen this time, though. His eyes got a look of, oh shit, not now. It was like he didn't have time to waste on anger. He was just desperate.
"I swear to God I won't hurt you,"
he screamed. This was weird too. Usually they're supposed to say we. It's not something that people have gone out of their way to report, but I've never heard a BEK story where one of them asked for just himself to be let in. It was like he suddenly didn't care about the other one. He just wanted to save his own hide. I ran into the house for my shotgun. I wasn't going to just stand there and listen to them begging to get in for the next hour. When I came back with the gun, though, they were already gone, and in their place was a young girl. Her hair was very light. I remember it as white, but with the way the street light was hitting it and how freaked out I was, that I'm not prepared to swear to that. She wasn't trying to get in. In fact, she was looking away. I pointed the gun at her anyway. "You get the hell off my property!"
"You don't need to do that,"
she said.
"I don't even want to get in."
I lowered my gun involuntarily. This girl freaked me out far more than the boys did. But I was powerless to disobey her.
"There were some boys who came by and asked to get into your house. Is that correct?"
"Yes," I said. I hoped that being honest with her would get her to go away as soon as possible.
"How long ago?"
"Just now. I was going to get my gun for them, and when I came back, you were here."
"Excellent. Then they should still be close. Don't worry. You won't be seeing them again."
She turned to me briefly, and I caught a glimpse of her face. Naturally, I looked at the eyes, expecting them to be black again. Instead, I saw they were pure white. No irises and no pupils, just pure white pools in her face that seemed to glow slightly in the darkness. She turned and walked away, and I realized something. I believed her. I fully expected that I would never see those boys again, and weirder yet, I realized I felt sorry for the little fuckers.